Hello, this is how I like to start my parsnip seeds. Plastic container, tissue in the bottom. I've already wet the tissue with this spray. Hello Molly, come round here please, good girl. I've already wet the tissue with the spray, matchstick, and I've got the parsnip seeds on the table next to the tray. We're just going to wet the end of the matchstick. If you've seen my videos before, you know what's coming next. If you haven't, watch this. Hey, how good is that? How good is that, Mo? Boink. And how quick is it? Now I've already sowed some of these earlier. This is a second sowing. We'll check the others out later, I think. They've only been in about a week, so I wouldn't expect to see anything there, because these guys can take 2 or 3 weeks to germinate. So you know, don't be opening the lid every 5 minutes to check how your parsnips are getting on, because they won't be getting on, will they? They take that long to germinate. Hey, look at that, a dozen sown, no problem. Now the tricky bit, of course, is when these germinate, what are we going to do? Well, I'll show you what we're going to do later on in this video, because I'll leave these, as I've said, for a while till they germinate, and then we'll go and plant some in the raised bed. Is that a deal? Last 2 or 3. Hey, come on. How long did that take? 2 ticks. Move these out the way so they don't get wet. Give these a quick spray. Put the lid on. I'll make a ticket out, put a date on it, and we'll just keep these somewhere where it's reasonably warm. They'll germinate. And then we'll shoot a bit more video. It's only been a week since I sown these parsnips, and the packet says they can take anything up to 3 weeks to germinate, so I haven't been looking at them that regularly, but I looked at them this morning and I've got to show you this, and this is after a week. Can you see the small white root? Let me just see if I can get a matchstick and tease one of these guys out. We'll pop him back in again. Can you see him hanging on by that root? So these guys are starting to germinate already, only after a week. How good is that? Javelin by name, javelin by nature. So I'm going to have to get outside now and get that raised bed prepared. Because I wasn't expecting this. Yeah, so while we've got the lid off, we'll give these guys a spray. Keep them nice and moist. Pop the lid back on. And we'll get that raised bed sorted out. This is some soil collected from molehills this morning by me and Molly. Clay soil, but as you can see, it's quite fine. But if we're going to use this to grow parsnips in, we need to make sure there are no obstructions in there. So I've got it sitting in this garden riddle. Okay, and we're going to riddle it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to incorporate some fertilizer into it, so that we riddle it all together and hopefully get a better mix. So I've seen this stuff before. This is bloodfish and bone. And you've definitely seen this stuff before. This is a 6X farmyard manure. And if Molly's in shot, you'll probably see she's licking her lips. I think she can actually taste this on the air. What do you think? Is that a possibility? Do you think she can actually taste this on the air? A bit like when you lick your lips at the beach and you can taste salt on your lips. I know a dog's nose is much more sensitive than a human nose. I'm just wondering if she can actually taste it, even though she's not touching it. So let me put these to one side and then we'll riddle that. Hey, cut that out, excuse me. Right, let's see what we've got here. Just get rid of these. Okay, that's looking a bit more like, isn't it? We'll pop it through one more time and then we'll go down to the raised bed and we'll prepare to sow some parsnips. Now I'm going to use a method that I've used a number of times before and it worked, so I'll stick to it. And it's a method that hopefully means you don't get too many forked roots and they stay straight. Now I fancy one more go. Get rid of those and that's it. Okay, that's fine enough for me. Let's go down the raised bed. Come on, Mo. Mo, hey. Come on. Before you arrived, I drew this line on the raised bed and just put a line of sand on there just to make it more visible. This is my marker board. These marks are at 3-inch centres. Okay, what I'm hoping to do, using this coffee table leg, which I need to get back indoors fairly smartish before anybody misses it, get it back on that coffee table. But this coffee table leg, I put a mark on it at 6 inches and I'm hoping to produce some holes 6 inches deep. We'll fill those holes with the mixture and then we'll sow a seed on top. We'll sow a germinated seed on top. And I'm hoping that this will actually work like a funnel to fill those holes. Okay, let's make some holes 6 inches deep. I'm just hoping that these holes don't break into one another, and so far they haven't, so we're quite happy with that. Okay, so you've got the gist of this. We'll knock the camera off now. I'll finish this row off and then we'll switch back on again. That's all the holes produced. Now basically what we're trying to do here is produce a column of soil below the parsnip that's obstruction free, hopefully, so that we can get one long straight root. These are a bit too close for big parsnips, but what we'll do is take every other, I think, as they grow. At least that's the plan. So we'll pop that in there, and this is the filler that we made earlier. How's that? Let's take the surplus off, and we'll mark that pebble. Okay, so that we know when we sow our seed, when we sow our parsnip, we sow it directly on top of the hole that's been filled with this fine material we've just made. Excuse me. I'll do a couple more, and then I think you've got the gist of it, and I'll finish off, and then we'll get to planting some parsnips hopefully. Last one. Okay, I'll switch the camera off, let me get finished, and then we'll come back to this. That's all the holes produced and filled with soil that we put through the garden riddle. These are our parsnips. Hope you can see that, but there is now a root and a shoot. Okay. So most of these guys have germinated, if not all, and we're going to get them in right now. Okay, let's do it. Try this guy first. Can you see him? I hope you can. We'll try him first. See the shoot? And if you notice, when they get bigger, they'll leave the seed behind. You see that? I don't know whether you can or not. They'll leave the seed behind. So, let's see if we can just pop him in there, like that. Close him up like that. I'm going to give all these guys a drink of water once we get them all in. I need to crack on with this now. These holes want to fill in as soon as you make them. You'll know that. You've done this sort of job yourself. Oops. I'll just put this one in, and then I'll water these few that we've done. Then I'll switch the camera off again, should we? I'll just do the rest exactly the same as I'm doing these, and we'll have a look at these guys in a week or two's time, should we? See if we've got them away. See, now that one, it's still got the seed on it, but you can see where it's breaking out. Well, I can. I don't know if you can. Okay, so we know we've got germinated seeds, don't we? we know they're germinated, so we're not wondering whether we've planted any duds. We know we haven't, because we've germinated them. Okay, you'll leave me to get on with this. I've got that coffee table leg back on. I don't think anybody noticed. And I'll get this job finished. Okay, this is Homegrown Veg, signing out.